Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. Today's replay is from Rooked, and he's in the Alaska, a tier 9 US cruiser. Now he's on the map riposte, and this is a ranked battle. Curiously enough, there are only battleships and cruisers. So we'll see how that goes with nobody here to contest caps. Now the friendlies are splitting nicely. We have like 3 ships more or less here at sea, the Rooked a bit central, and then the Siegfried and the Kutuzov for A. Now so far we've only spotted ships around here. We shall see if this continues. Now Rook is getting closer and closer here. He could pop a radar, like, I mean, the enemy aren't going to contest the cap here. But he can use his radar to get some information. Now he's detected, so he's popping his radar and he's found a Seattle. A Seattle that's lovely enough broadside, and look at that, armor piercing is loaded. So he's making a turn here. It looks like there are a lot of enemies coming this way. So Rook wants to be in a position to retreat if necessary, and although there's so much broadside, you can barely choose. Everyone's broadside today. Okay, so that's a first blood, a 4th citadel, and a good start. Now it looks like the enemy has basically only ships around here. Now there's still one missing, right? We can see 4 ships right now. 1 has been sunk, so 1 is still unaccounted for. The enemies aren't contesting A though, so it looks like the Siegfried and the Kutuzov will get this cap. Getting a free cap in a matchup like this is great. Okay, so we've seen the last enemy. It's a Aetam that's, as you know, it's a prowling battleship, so it's as far in the back as possible. Okay, so we've got the A cap. Now the Siegfried and the Kutuzov should really now push forward to help out. They could come around this island here and create a crossfire. That would be lovely. Meanwhile, and we get a Harlem broadside. Not quite. The Harlem refuses to show broadside. That's a shame. Now the Friedrich and the Lion are currently behind an island, and I think they're close enough to the island that they can't lob shells over it, so Rook's side is protected. Of course the Lion is coming forward, so Rook is already starting to turn again. He's currently undetected, but the Lion is gonna come around. I mean, so far I think the Lion has been shooting high explosive, so Rook isn't going to be in immediate troubles. It's gonna be more problematic once that Friedrich comes around. Now we have Rook here and 2 battleships, so technically more than enough to meet the enemy's charge. Especially since the Brindisi is very far in the back, the Seaton is not doing anything. And it's, well, it's the Harlem around here, but the Harlem isn't that healthy. Now Brindisi is showing broadside, and what happens to ships that show broadside? Get citadel.
Enemy cruiser destroyed. Our team has taken the lead.
Well, speaking of broadsides, Rook has to be careful that he isn't exposing too much of his own against the Harlem, although he is angling mostly against the battleships, which are the bigger threat. Now, it's nice to see that the friendly Chopard is going to great lengths to always hide behind its cruiser. Rook is now going to reverse because he has realized if he pushes further in, it's going to end up in a crossfire. The Chopard, obviously, being the brave battleship that's on full health, is also going to reverse just to make sure that everyone keeps shooting the Alaska instead. Well, at least the Bismarck is going forward. Now the friendlies are 2 ships ahead, well, soon 3 ships ahead, I guess, so that's good news. This fire has been damage conned, but the next salvo should take care of the Harlem and then make sure that Rook keeps his flank secured. There we go. Of course he's inside the secondaries of a Friedrich right now, which is not really a pleasant place to be. But you know, I mean, Rook's basically the local battleship here. He's got a tank for the team because nobody else wants to. Oh look, the Kutuzov and the Siegfried have woken up and have finally left the safety of A in order to participate more in this battle. Not that the friendly team really needs the right now. Now of course they haven't decided to come around and flank as one would have hoped. The Ruprecht, on the other hand, has actually pushed towards B and is doing what the brawling battleship is good at, which is brawling. The Bismarck is also going in and brawling, and the Chopard is still probably reversing. Now it looks like the Friedrich has decided the secondaries are more useful on the Bismarck for whatever reason, and it's also broadside to an Alaska.
We destroyed an enemy battleship.
What am I watching here? I don't know. Okay, so the enemy team has failed to sink a single ship so far, and they're down to 60 points. Well, and soon this Lion is gonna go down. The Seaton has actually made it to the front lines somehow, way too late to do anything. And this is over. So this happened. Rook had to tank for his team, while also farming the broadsides. And his team was like watching from the sidelines. Okay, that's slightly... I mean, his team helped a bit. But the Ruprecht pushed in there in the end and did something. And the Bismarck was getting into the brawling mood in the end as well, I guess. But anyway, Rook had to do a lot of work here. The enemy team just absolutely crumbled. Maybe they should have shown less broadside. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. And I'll see you next time.